Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Long Eyes Ledge again, and this might be a bit of a weird one. I'm not sure really how long it's going to be, and it's largely based on luck depending on what these battle plans actually say. But we're going to be looking at the mini missions, the special ops missions in Guild Wars. So yeah, this is quite weird for me actually, because as I've said in a previous video, one of the earliest things I ever did when I was just kind of messing around with fraps with one of my old friends on the guild, one of the earliest things we did was a guide on how these work, because honestly this is one of those features of Eye of the North that not many people know about or really use. So we did this guide on it, and there was no commentary, it was just with annotations, and in fact if you look on my channel, that's the earliest video I've still got up there. There were a couple earlier than that, but I've like removed them because they had, you know, copyrighted songs and stuff on them. But so yeah, this is quite weird. Alright, so here we go. What you get is basically when you're wandering around, you can kill the Charr, as I've said before, and they might drop these encrypted battle plans, and you won't know what they're for until you complete the primary quests for the Even Vanguard, and Captain Langmar will spawn out here, and if you speak to her, she can give you a little bit of explanation on what's actually going on here. So she says, we're hoping to take advantage of the chaos you've sown into the Charr forces. If you find any of their battle plans, tell me immediately. We can decode them to figure out their next moves. So I think the first reason why most people miss this is A, they don't get the battle plans drop. B, they do. They see that they sell for like 500 gold, I think it is, or oh no, you can't even sell them to the merchants. Well, they see them and they don't know what they're for, and they get rid of them. They throw them in the trash bin, or in the trash bin or something. Or and C, the fact that you have to complete all the primary quests first, and people might just not speak to Captain Langmar. They see the call to the eye and they leave, and then they just don't see it. But it's actually kind of cool, and there's a lot of effort that went into it. Again, it still suffers from the problem that the racing guy does for the Norn outside the Umbral Grotto, in that the rewards are kind of crappy, and for that reason nobody does it as well, which I think is, you know, maybe one of the bigger reasons. But still, it's cool. So tell me about the Charr battle plans. The Charr leaders often send runners to the front lines to communicate their battle plans with field commanders. These messages are encoded, but thanks to the diligent work of Artificer Mullinix, I feel like that should be pronounced sort of like, I don't know, like a French pronunciation, Mulligny, whatever. We've cracked 3 of their major encoding techniques. By the way, this guy I think you find at the Hall of Monuments near the Eye of the North, so that's where he actually is. Anyway, we've cracked 3 of their major encoding techniques. If you ever find any encoded Charr battle plans, bring them to me and get a decoder. We'll figure out what these beasts are up to and put a stop to it. So you actually kind of get a little bit of insight into the Charr language here, which is cool. Because, you know, the whole way through this game, there's always been hints of other creatures' languages. I've talked a little bit about the Asuran written language, and obviously way back in Prophecies I talked about quite a lot of language stuff, because obviously the Ascalonians have their own set of runes and stuff. But here we actually, I think this is all you ever see of the Charr written language. I'm busy. Come Guild Wars 2, they all use New Crichton for their written language, which, so kind of, I guess it just completely falls out of use. We might still see it in the background or on some walls or something at some point in Guild Wars 2, but it's not very prominent anymore. So this is really all we get to see of their language 250 years ago. So if you give me a decoder, please, Captain Langmar, you'll see here we actually get this pretty unique item, and it's got like a cool UI on it and all kinds of sweet stuff. So this is what it looks like. You get all of these symbols here. These are basically the bits of like Charr runes and symbols and things. And I'm not sure specifically how they're translated. On these wheels here, though, these are the Ascalonian runes. Okay, so it basically translates the Charr stuff into the Ascalonian things. And all you have to do is, if I remember correctly, just drag an encrypted plan into the slot, and it will tell you using one of these ciphers. It will sort of try and translate it for you. So you can see with the default cipher, I don't know which the default cipher is. We just can't read it. It says AMFSK, JJD, blah 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 blah. So you get 3 different ciphers. These are the 3 different ciphers obviously the Charr are using, and yeah, you can just click whichever one you want. It will spin around and do it. That's so cool. This is like the best, like, as far as UI goes, the best thing in the game. It overtakes the books for me. They're actually classified as the same kind of items in the internal game engine, just in case you didn't know that, which is quite interesting. But yeah, so we've tried it. We tried the first cipher. It hasn't worked. The decoded message is still, you'll need kiddie blah blah blah. Yeah, you can't really read it. So remove the page. That's a bit annoying that you have to remove the page. Does it come back out? Yeah, and then you've got to re-enter it again. So of course the encrypted Charr battle plans, these are all different, and they do all have different things on them, but before you decode them they all just look completely the same, which is quite cool. So I don't know whether we're going to get sort of the same battle plans more than once, which is why this episode could end up really short, or we'll get 4 unique ones. I'm not even sure there are 4 unique missions, to be honest. Maybe I should have looked at that. Maybe I will look at it in a minute. But yeah, so the polyalphabetic didn't work. Try the reverse alphanumeric. have a feeling this will be the right one. It's usually the second one for me, I don't know why. Yeah, there you go. So, the decoded message says, Arrange Legion Command Unit arrival at the Flame Temple corridor within 1 fortnight. Alright, so now we know the Charr are planning to attack the Flame Temple corridor. So, if we speak to Captain Langmar...
I'm afraid I'm busy.
And tell her that we've decoded some Charr battle plans. She says, good work, Peter, you've uncovered vital information. I can't spare any troops right now. She can never spare any troops. Do you think you could handle intercepting the Charr and disrupting their plans? Okay, so I'll travel behind enemy lines and put a stop to their nefarious plans. So you hit OK, and you actually load into a Special Ops Flame Temple Corridor mission, which is pretty great. You go back to an early game area in Ascalon with a unique mission. We've got 15 minutes to complete this in an explorable area. For instance, this one in particular, nobody ever really goes to. It was just for like the one Titan quest near the end, or if you wanted to come up here for a bag or something like that. I always like to come up here. I can't remember, in Prophecies, did I do that? Did I come up here and get the bag? Because that's so cool. I'd love to have done that. When I first made my first character, this is kind of what I did. I came and explored up here and found the collectors, and I was like, oh, these guys give me bags for free. Because back then, like, to me, you know, when you first start playing this game, everything cost an armor and a leg. So 500 gold was, I'll be honest, quite a lot to me. So I was like, and to buy it from the merchant. So I stayed here and like grinded on the gruesome rib cages or whatever it was we needed to get them. And I've always kind of enjoyed this place, the Dragon's Gullet. I'm talking about the Dragon's Gullet, but you have to come through the Flame Temple corridor first. And I've always enjoyed this place for it, but you never really see it outside of that, right? Which is why I quite like these special ops missions, because it takes you back to these areas with a stronger Charr to kill, a lot more Charr to kill. You get an 8-man party. They can be difficult as well. I've probably over-aggroed here. I don't know. If I have, I'll just flag everyone away. If you die, you're just going to wipe, and that's it. It's game over. It's just generally quite cool, and there's, like I said, I think there's about 3 different versions of these special ops missions. I also like the places that they use in Ascalon. I think maybe it would have been cool if they'd put one of the special ops missions, I don't know, maybe somewhere south of the wall, but they're all north of the wall, and they're all pretty good reasons for why they happen as well. Like, here's a particularly good one. I'm kind of happy I've got this one first, because here you actually get they're here at the Flame Temple corridor, right, which is described as this big a big temple that the Charr had erected to, you know, their flame gods, to the Titans. But there were no quests about it. There was nothing, you know, particularly interesting here. We just knew it was like a Charr stronghold that they'd, or did they just come to an Ascalonian building, because it does look a bit ruined, doesn't it, and just take it over like that? I don't know. In any case, it's cool that they did this mission here, I think, because it actually gives people a reason to come back. And, you know, outside of what we can see and the fact it's called the Flame Temple, it actually makes the Charr it seem like a more significant place to the Charr, rather than just sort of having a load of roaming things. They all like to be here and hold it. So yeah, the mission itself, I believe, find and kill Smoke Kindlefist, Charr Legion leader, and we have 15 minutes to find and kill him before he escapes. Do we actually get a quest marker? I don't think we do. Basically, the mission itself, and all of the missions, I must admit, not very inspired. I'll just come out and say it. It's just run through, kill everything on your way. It's not like you have any interesting decisions to make. Ooh, which direction do I go? Do I go this way or this way? It's just cut your way through. One of them is like a defend mission, which hopefully I'll be able to show you. But yeah, I just like it because it's coming back to Ascalon. It's a reason to come back. It's just, again, I can't help but repeating myself with what I said with the guy on the racing. Why didn't they give us better rewards for this? This would have been so cool. I love the idea of thinking of all these other potential places that players could have come and started farming and stuff. Like, if you think of like the Domain of Anguish, for instance, really high rewards there, so naturally there's always loads of players outside of there looking to farm for things. And then you look at other places like Icetooth Cave, where there's nothing to do there at all, so they're just barren wastelands all the time. I really like the idea of thinking, well, maybe if they'd put the rewards up, maybe Long Eyes Ledge, right, this outpost that is generally pretty insignificant to most people, except people maybe trying to farm for tiers, but you know, there are many outposts which are very insignificant to people, and thinking, oh, how cool would it have been if this became like a hub for a certain kind of farming? How cool would that have been? You know, they could have been, if these, I think these quests reward you 1,000 Vanguard points, or maybe it's 500. If they rewarded double that, though, for instance, so people were actually more interested in it, and buying and selling battle plans, you know, because there's all these different steps to actually access these things. You could have had some really different stuff going on. I guess this is the reason why I really like Nicholas the Traveller. to be honest, because Nicholas essentially took all of these completely barren areas, like the Magoo Estate, for instance. That was this outpost here, the last one I ever unlocked on my main character, just because it's so out of the way. You know, and it took outposts like Magoo Estate, and even if it's only for a short period of time, it made them interesting, and it made people go there. This is also quite cool. They block off the portal here by throwing some rubble down. So it is actually a unique map visually as well, which is quite cool. I think the guy's actually supposed to be around here, actually, isn't he? Either that or I've made a massive mistake, or I'm thinking of a different mission? Where the hell is he? Or is he up there right in the middle of the temple? I guess that would make sense. I remember doing this before, though, and he wasn't there. Oh, whatever. But yeah, that's why I like Nicholas the Traveller, because it makes these outposts big hubs of activity. Not so much anymore, but you know, the first year when Nick was out, people were just mad over it, and me too. I'm not excluding myself from it. People loved Nick. They loved the idea of getting one of these rare drops. Wow, these guys really packed a punch, didn't they? Here you go. Let's save yourselves. Get out of the meteor shower, people. But yeah, now it's still there. Like when Nicholas the Traveller's there, you will load into a random outpost, and it will be like, oh wow, there's hundreds of people here, and you just know that Nicholas is nearby, and it's cool. And you know, yeah, it's one of those rare things. Zaishan missions and bounties as well. They're pretty much fizzled out now. But when they were introduced, which was at the same time as Nick, when they were introduced, it was very cool because it got people going back and pugging for the first time in a very long time and actually trying to play with other people. It was just pretty fantastic. Right, I'm going to skip those guys. He's not up here. Yeah, I knew he wasn't up here. This is where we got Althea's ashes, by the way. This is kind of special to me, this place, in considering the Let's Play, because this was the first place, really, that I ever had a real challenge, like doing the solo mission. I have no idea where this guy is, like, genuinely. Is he over here? Up there? He must be up there. I think he must be up there, because I remember it ends not in this kind of temple complex area. It ends sort of in a little bit of a valley. But yeah, look, there's big groups, actually. You know, I did almost wipe just now, so it can be challenging. They're particularly like the defending one. The defending one's pretty cool, though, because if you're using, like, Discord or something, I used, God, I'm talking quite a lot about gameplay, but whatever. With Discord, I used, obviously my main's a Mesmer, so whenever I played that mission, right, actually, I'll talk about that when we do it. Why would I talk about that now? Anyway, I think the guy's up here. I'm pretty sure he's up here. We only got 8 minutes, but, you know, plenty of time. I think you do get a higher reward for doing this in hard mode, which is cool. But, again, the rewards are pretty pathetic in the first place, sadly. So, people just didn't come and do it. I'm almost sure he's up here. Oh, would you look at this? I don't think Peter actually came and explored here on our first time through Prophecies. We didn't actually explore many places at all. Let's actually look at my Explorer title. Hold on. Yeah, we only explored 60% of the world. That's not as bad as it sounds. You guys might be thinking, if you've never played the game and you've actually got this far just watching my Let's Play, first, kudos to you. But careful, everyone. Don't get screwed up. I probably shouldn't be standing around like that. I'm just really scared they're going to land in a meteor shower in a minute. Like that. Just keep using save yourselves. Yeah, you might be looking at, oh, I've only shown you 60% of the world. A lot of that remaining 40% is just sort of tiny little areas against the sort of scraping the edges of the explorable areas and nothing more. Get away, people! Don't run into the firestorm. Why are you going into the firestorm? I flagged you away. That's retarded. Why did? Oh my god. Oh, it's because someone's still alive. I see. Oh, a ward keeper. Okay. Alright, we've still got 2 people alive. Alright, that makes a lot more sense. Oh my god, we've aggroed the whole group. Oh, these are the Charr Flame Lords, I see. Yeah, this is the end. So you've got Charr Flame Lords here. Unique enemy, I think. Completely unique. Only seen here. It's just a name. Obviously, the models are the same. Skills might be slightly different. But here in the bunch, you can barely see him. There is Smoke Kindle Fist. Shit, guys. Be careful. Be careful, people. Just keep spamming save yourselves. Why are they all hiding behind that ruin over there? Alright, whatever. Yeah, this is the end of the mission. 6 minutes to spare. Not too shabby, I must say. And we're about 15 minutes. Jeez, 15 minutes already. So what I think I'll do is, like with the defend mission, you don't go anywhere, so that'll be a good one. I can just, there you go, mission success, 1,000 even Vanguard earned. Maybe it's just, no, I thought 1,000 was the hard mode reward, so I could be wrong. Maybe it doesn't reward you more in hard mode at all, which would be a bit of a shame. But yeah, there you go. That's just the way it happens sometimes. It's just one of those reasons why it wasn't that successful. There you go. That's the first special ops mission. Let's see what these other battle plans give us. and I'll demonstrate what the other ones are like. Really, in everything in Eye of the North, this isn't a massive gameplay thing. It's, by the way, that mission we just did was the same mission I sort of demoed, if you will, on my original video. But it's not massive in the whole scope of Eye of the North for sure. But you know, I think it's really cool. Especially, I can just imagine like a single developer was like, "Hey, I've got this really cool idea," and they spoke to someone and Arenanet like greenlit it and said, "Yeah, go for it. Go on, see what you can do." And it took them along, and maybe it was just 1 or 2 people who worked on this and then put it in the game. But you know,
what news?
It was really cool though, because this is just kind of how it feels to me, like a sort of a one-man thing. Do we still have the decoder that she originally gave us? We should have it. No, we don't have it. I really need to sell some of this crap in my inventory as well. All right, give me another one.
I'm afraid I'm busy.
No, don't tell me about the plans. Give me another
Report
decoder.
in.
There we go. Thank you. All right, so let's do the second one. Let's use the elliptic curve cryptography. And no, that did not translate it. Let's try again with the polyalphabetic. I just love the animation, it's so cool. There we go. Send 3 companies to Dragon's Gullet to stage wall breach under the full moon. Okay, alright, we'll try this one out.
Who goes there?
I don't actually recognise that dialogue. Is this a new one? Yeah, I've decoded something, let's do it. Same thing every time, basically. Alright, Dragon's Gullet. Where are we now? Where in the Dragon's Gullet are we? Wait, are we in a completely unique area? Oh no, we're just sort of in the bottom right. Dragon's Gullet is actually quite big. I didn't show you guys much of it in the Let's Play. Obviously, we just went up to the tar pit to kill the Titans when they were here. But it's actually quite a big area. It's one of those massive kind of sections that as so many places and prophecies are, it's one of those huge areas that's got nothing much to do. And no outposts, so people don't really come here much. So yeah. There's actually a place, I think I talked about it on Prophecies, up like in the top right hand corner, where it looks like the map has been built as if there was a road that would continue going north, but it never sort of had a portal put there, so when the game was finally released, they just, it was in an inaccessible path, essentially. And there were a lot of areas, I know I did talk about them in Prophecies, in this game that looked like they were going to have paths that would take you to other areas, or they were kind of left open for maybe, because obviously Arenanet had no idea what they were going to do for expansions and stuff when they were first making Prophecies. It was actually not that many people who made the first game. It's actually quite interesting when you hear about the development of it, but I can just imagine that they would have left those open just in case in an expansion they wanted to continue the path going up. What have we actually got to do here? Just kill lots of Charr. Find and annihilate all 3 Charr companies in Dragon's Gullet. 11 of 100 Charr slain. Alright, well, this one, what are we at? We're at 17 minutes. Ooh, wow, there's a Siege Devourer. Oh, maybe this is where the screenshot's from then. Maybe that's how they got the Siege Devourers in Ascalon. Oh, I suddenly feel very stupid. Oh, okay. Alright, so we'll kill the Siege Devourer. I think I'll speed this up, maybe talk when I find something really interesting, because I want to show you at least the other one as well. Let's get the Siege Devourer, awesome. Oh, well, that completely makes everything I said in the previous videos moot, but there you go. This is how they got the screenshot in Ascalon. That makes a lot more sense now. Alright, okay. So yeah, I will see you guys in a second. Oh, this is awesome, playing the Siege Devourer here. Wow, you know, I was going to cut all of this out, but I've just got to show you guys this. Look at how many Charr there are here. Oh my god, wow. I don't think I've ever done this mission before. I think I've done a lot of battle plan stuff before, don't get me wrong, I definitely have. But I guess I've just been really unlucky and never done the Dragon's Gullet one. I have looked, and it's definitely, oh, this is amazing. Look how we're killing. There are definitely only 3 Charr battle missions. And what I'll probably do is cut the rest of this one in a minute, once we've seen this fight, and then I'll show you guys the last one after that. But, oh, man, wow. Okay, yeah, I think this is like the 1 Charr battle mission I'd never done, so this is pretty cool. This is like kind of blind for me. I mean, we're not really going to see anything interesting. I think we're just running around killing loads of Charr, but still, this is awesome. Okay, oh god, they're really harassing our back line, aren't they? Siege them! Brilliant. Okay, yeah, I'll see you guys in a minute. This is awesome. Okay, cool. Oh, wow. Well, that was actually really fun. Awesome. Okay, cool. Alright, so yeah, that didn't take very long either, actually. But But yeah, there you go. Alright, so that's that mission. Literally just wander around a tiny little bit and you'll kill them all. I mean, they seem like they're all really weak chars, so you just sort of siege them a bit and then they're down. So there you go. Alright, back out into Long Eyes Ledge. Yeah, no, I don't think that was, that Siege Devourer there, I don't think that was how that screenshot was, because I'm pretty sure the screenshot I saw was outside the Greenwich Courthouse, so I'm pretty sure that what I was talking about before still matters somehow. I'm a bit hazy on it though, so yeah. And there was definitely more than one Siege Devourer, and I think there's only one in that Special Ops mission, so yeah. So what I said still stands, I guess. Alright, so last one very quickly here. Hopefully we've actually got a plan for the last one, because like I said, it is just random what you actually get, so...
Report in.
No, oh, I've got to stop asking her to tell me about them. Okay, sweet. Do I actually have space for that? Did I have space? I don't have space, do I? Crap. Okay, I'm going to have to start dropping some stuff. Unless it went into a different slot? No, it did not. Okay, hold on. Why have I got this crap in here? I'll sell this at the end of this video. Don't worry about it, guys.
Report in.
There we go. Alright, cool. So, please be the Greenwich Courthouse one. Because this one's my favourite, the one we're about to do. Actually, I don't know. That one I just did was pretty awesome. Maybe it's just because that was new, though. Come on. Polyalphabetic. I didn't just do polyalphabetic, did I? That would be terrible if it was. Nope. Hold on. See, this translating's kind of cool. It's just... Alright, there we go. Yes, remnants of human forces discovered in the Greenwich Courthouse. Send forces to intercept. So this is the third and final Special Ops mission. Okay? So,
I'm afraid I'm busy.
We've decoded, deciphered, whatever. And this one is basically a King of the Hill mission. We get a load of Ascalonian soldier allies. You get to play in the Greenwich Courthouse outpost, but sort of in the mission, if you will. And you're going to get a load of char, buttload of char, coming from that side and from that side. And you can basically just stand here. And if your team's strong enough, do really well. Now, what I was talking about earlier that I kind of had to stop myself. I love how they all have fiery dragon swords as well. That's so interesting, considering what basically the lore becomes for those in Guild Wars 2, how basically they say that Adelbern's and Rurik's fiery dragon swords were actually special swords, so it's kind of like, well, how are they different to all these other ones? But yeah, in any case, this mission, what I was saying before, was really fun because using a Discord build with the old Mesmer before it was updated, which actually nerfed the build. You used to be able to use fast casting to summon these even Vanguard assassins really quickly, and you could use Assassin's Promise and Arcane Echo to basically just come into this mission. You could basically just summon an even Vanguard assassin, summon a second one. The thing would die, and they would both recharge instantly. And you could stand here, and by using specific cons, you could just up your cast speed really high. So you could just be knocking out the even Vanguard assassins in like quarter of a second, really fast. And in this one mission where there were so many char that kind of die reasonably easily, I say that now, I'll probably wipe in the end, but yeah, but where there's so many constantly charging at you, you could just have like an infinite supply of even Vanguard assassins. And I think from one player, just from me, I had a point where I had about 12 of them out on the field, and it was incredible. And I always wanted to, one of my plans always for this game was to come back here with enough other Mesmers, and all of us be doing the exact same thing. Because you don't really need Discord, you just need the coordination for everybody to attack the same thing. Because you'd be using, like, you move like a dwarf and finish him as well at the same time, so they'd just be dying anyway. But yeah, I always wanted to come back here and have them all do it. So you would have, for every single Mesmer, about, let's just say 10, right? 10 even Vanguard assassins. So with 8 players, that would be 80 assassins running around on the field, just devastating everything. And that just, that sounded so awesome. I always wanted to go back and do it, but it's just like, there aren't really, even after the update, I wouldn't say that many Mesmers in PvE that sort of have all the stuff and that would be interested in that kind of thing. You know, I was never in a really big guild or anything that did that kind of stuff, so yeah, it just never really happened. Not that I talked about it much, but it was always something that I wanted to come and do. And it's always why I've kind of enjoyed this mission here as well, just because it allows you to do that kind of crap. And, you know, nobody had ever seen it really either. I was just playing with heroes at the time. So it was just like this private thing. I was super proud of the fact that I had so many even Vanguard assassins out. And yeah. But this is the mission, guys. This is the mission. We stand here. Nothing dangerous particularly comes. I think later on there might be some more powerful things, maybe some other Charr flame lords or something. But eventually you just kill them all and then you finish the mission. So for the sake of keeping this YouTube video down, I know they've all been like 26, 27 minutes recently, but oh, Lena's dead. I might actually fail this. Come on, get up, Lena. Lena's always the first to die. Always the first to die. It's not even like she should be running into... See, why is she running it? Why is she so close? She shouldn't be there. It's not like she's using her touch resurrection skill. If she even has that in Eye of the North, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm just going to stop rambling. I will cut it until we see like the last few die, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Or indeed, it will just be the sight of me wiping. Amazing. How many waves did we have left? 6 of 8 are still alive. It doesn't tell you how many waves are left, but yeah, you've got to have the soldiers survive, I suppose. That's not even the last wave. See, this is cool as well. You see a lot in Guild Wars with when it's defending missions like this, they balance it so that the new waves don't come until you've killed the previous ones. They do it really well here. They do what I'd prefer them to have done always, which is the next waves are just scheduled to arrive when they arrive, and if you haven't killed quick enough, you're going to get swarmed. I really like that idea. Even in the Underworld, they didn't do that to you. Which is quite funny, really. But yeah, look at this vast number of Charr. Another cool thing about this mission would just be not killing any of them and just waiting and having the Charr just build up, and then I don't know, just bombing them out somehow, or you know, to get the most kills possible. Anyway, there you go. I failed the mission, but you're not missing anything. It just would have been another green screen saying complete. So there you go. Take a shot at yourself if you want. I mean, to see the end, a nice little bit of a challenge for you guys there if you want. It's not actually that hard. It's just, you know, I'm gonna blame it on the henchmen and nothing else. But yeah, there you go. That's it, guys. Those are the special op missions. I hope you enjoyed the video. Next video, I'm going to ask you now, guys. There's quests we can do with Veil. You know, I talked about this mask. There's those kinds of things. There's also Single Ugly Gruul seeks same for mindless destruction in Ascalon, plus a few others. There's still, I want to show you the cauldron that brought down the searing down here in Sakna Valley and some other stuff. So there is still a lot of stuff that I want to show you here in the Charr Homelands. But we don't have to do that right now. If you want, we can go see the Northern Shiver Peaks or even the Tarnished Coast if you want. So it's up to you guys. The ball's in your court. What do you want next video to be? Should we stay? Should we go? We'll see it all in the end anyway. But yeah, so yeah, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I guess that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it didn't get too long. Fingers crossed. And I will see you tomorrow.